This is a lesson or a podcast for everyone in and out of real estate. Just be an honest and open person about what facts are. Just be completely straightforward with facts, because you're going to save yourself headache. And if you're in this to just get one wholesale deal and walk away, then that will work. It's a completely wrong way of doing it. But if you're really in it for the long term and you're wanting to build a business and build relationships with people who are going to come back and do more business with you, doing it the right way from the very beginning is the most important part, because repeat business is the best business.
So you present the offer on Facebook Marketplace at the beginning. Do you still do it now? You just do it with, what do you do now?
The DealMachine REI Podcast. Everything you need to know to get started in real estate investing.
If you are going to do a deal where you're not using any of your cash or credit, you get a really amazing deal under contract, and then you pass it off to an investor who does have cash. And the passing off is what we're talking about. This is how you find the other investors that have cash. You have the deal locked up. You have the ability to market it since you have an equitable interest in it, which is because you have it under contract. And now you're fishing. It's kind of like fishing for cash buyers when you're putting it on Facebook Marketplace like that.
Yes.
So if you have it under contract for $40,000, you might put it on Facebook Marketplace for $50,000, right?
Yep.
And they pay you a $10,000 assignment fee when you assign the contract over to them, so they can buy it for $40,000. They pay you a $10,000 fee on top of it.
Yes, correct.
Amazing. So the first one was just photos and an ARV, it sounds like.
Yeah, it was so generic. It worked, but I wouldn't say that it was a long-term, like not effective for the long term. What we started to find as more effective was the actual presentation and how you actually make your offer look. You know, Megan put a flyer together, and early on, even then, it was like we were still like learning on what is effective on this flyer. What do people want to see?
Was it a digital flyer, or was it something you were handing out in person at like a real estate meetup?
Yeah, it was a digital flyer.
What do people want to see? Like, if you could skip ahead to what you learned.
I will say this is another thing. I keep saying I will say. Of course, I'm going to say this. So I think that it's important to have pictures, but not too many pictures, because you have somebody that's wanting to see an overview of the house. So we always make it a point to get a picture of the outside of the house, and then each room inside the house is very important for these people to see. And the last thing is making sure you're getting photos of issues. If there's a foundation problem or if the electrical is stolen, like getting pictures of those so that they know coming into this, okay, there's a crack in the foundation I'm going to have to address. Okay, there's no electric, I'm going to have to take care of that. Oh, the furnace, it looks like it's been smashed by a car, which reality is somebody came in and stole all the guts from it. So they know they need to see those issues. Don't sugarcoat the deal by putting only the good things on there, because what's going to happen is you're going to present this deal. It looks amazing. And then they're going to find out that it's not amazing because you did not give them the things they needed to know, which is the next part on how to present that deal. Tell them what they need to know. Tell them this needs electrical. This needs HVAC. This needs a water heater. It like giving them an idea of what all the big ticket items are going to be is very important. If you just glaze over, okay, yeah, it's rental property.
If you send me one deal and I go investigate it and I'm like, this thing does not look anything like what you advertised, I no longer trust you. Yep. And so that's why it's so important to be transparent with issues, because you're not going to trick anybody. And if you trick them once, you're never going to have a chance to go and do another deal with them. And so that's why in life, I feel like it's so important to be transparent.
Yeah, it really is. This is a lesson or a podcast for everyone in and out of real estate. Just be an honest and open person about what facts are. Just be completely straightforward with facts, because you're going to save yourself headache. And if you're in this to just get one wholesale deal and walk away, then that will work. It's a completely wrong way of doing it. But if you're really in it for the long term and you're wanting to build a business and build relationships with people who are going to come back and do more business with you, doing it the right way from the very beginning is the most important part, because repeat business is the best business.
Let's say somebody responds back on Facebook Marketplace. Like, what's the next step? Do you require any type of funds from them? What do you actually go through as a process from there?
It's kind of, there's a lot of steps to it. So a lot of times if they reply, hey, can I come and look at this? Then you have we generally put lock boxes on all of our houses, which making sure that you're notifying the seller that, hey, there may potentially be people that come by and look at this. And again, like, we don't shy away from the fact that this is a potential wholesale deal. For us, we don't necessarily know what the deal is going to be when we get it under contract. I play every situation with an assignment fee in there, but it's possible.
You're saying you might take it as a buy and hold.
Correct. I might end up keeping it. So I want to make sure that if I don't keep it as a buy and hold, that I have that buffer in there for my assignment fee should I assign it. So I don't necessarily know going in. I just treat them all like an assignment. And I always make sure that they know, hey, I may not be the end actual one closing on this. That doesn't affect what you get. You're still going to get your money. But there may be an opportunity for me to work with another investor or a partner investor. And I may be passing the contract. So just, again, vulnerability.
So do you let multiple people go see it at different times if they are going to go be looking at the property, or do you make them go at the same time?
That has not been my experience. We have not had to do. We've had maybe once or twice where we've said, hey, the offer period is between here and here. And if you want to see this house, it's between here and here. But in our market, it's not, there's not, 30 people that are like, oh gosh, we got to go. It's not hot like that. Now, I know that other people do that, where it's like, hey, you have this window of time to go and look at the property, but you also have this window of time to submit your offer. And if it's not in by then, you're out. So, and
then from there, if they want to get it an offer done, then what do they do next? You have like a certain assignment contract.
So yeah, they'll submit, which that's so different than how we did at the very beginning. It was they could verbally make an offer, they could text us an offer, they could email an offer.
How about a fax machine? You accept those?
Yeah, I don't have a fax machine, but if you did, we could probably figure out a way to make it work.
So, okay. So, and then the offer is literally just a price, right? Because
that's it.
It's already under contract by you. So
Correct.
They're not getting it under contract again. They're actually going to give you a price, and then you make an assignment contract, right? To assign it over to them for an assignment fee.
Yes, you're assigning the contract that you already have is what you are assigning to them. So they're going to give you 5, 10, whatever for that contract. They're going to give you something in exchange for that contract that you have, which, again, it's important to notify them what the terms are, that they are paying all the closing costs. If there are any other, if in the contract we had to negotiate whatever, we'll pay back taxes or whatever, those details, you have to relay that to the person that's buying that contract. So making sure that you're telling your end buyer, hey, here's the original contract. These are the terms. Purchase price is this. The closing costs are here. The back taxes are here. Whatever deal that you negotiate, they need to know. That way, when it's again, the whole honesty and vulnerability and integrity is on the line. If you hide details the last second, you're risking a lot by not just telling them everything.
So you present the offer on Facebook Marketplace at the beginning. Do you still do it now? You just do it with, what do you do now?
The landscape of our business has shifted so much that right now we have a buyer's list. And we will
you got from Facebook Marketplace responses, right?
Yeah, yes and no. Like I never really felt like I don't think anybody that we actually found from Facebook actually stuck around. I think those are more flash in the pan. And again, like our journey, like we assigned to the first few properties that we assigned, we noticed that they weren't really getting fixed up. And so then it was like a shift of, okay, if we're gonna do this, I don't want to just assign stuff and then it like St. Joe is so small. You see stuff so much. Like if you could in Kansas City or somewhere, you could assign it and never think of it again because the chances of you driving by that house aren't as much. Here, our market is so small that every house that I assign, I'm going to drive by in the next month. So I would start seeing like, oh, that person that I sold it to on Facebook, they're not even fixing it. It's just sitting there for a year. And then it comes up on tax sale and it's like that sucks. Like, yeah, I made my money on it, but it's still an eyesore to the community. And so we changed our approach a little bit in narrowing down it took time because you do need marketplace and you need word of mouth to find the people that are going to be your buyers. But then building some consistency with them, doing some deals with them, you'll learn who is willing to actually fix them up. Then that's who you really start presenting your deals to. So it is a process. Like it takes some time to build that buyers list. It takes some time to vet your buyers, find out who's going to be, if your goal is to improve the landscape of your community, or not. I mean, I don't know. Everybody's got a different, maybe your goal is just to sign it and you don't care. And that's fine. You can absolutely do that. In a small town like this, it's like, I don't feel like I'm helping anything. Totally. It's just creating more problems.
It's your reputation. Who buys this property, what they do with it is your reputation in a small town if you're doing it at scale.
Thanks for listening to the DealMachine Real Estate Investing Podcast. Please leave us a review and follow along wherever you're listening to your podcast.